What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. My name is Jason, and this is a channel where we rewind the movies that made us. So, guys, I wanted to get on here and talk about Rocky. And I know I've talked about Rocky so many times, but Rocky at 50 years old, having his big 50th anniversary this year, and has Rocky become more than a movie? These are the kind of thoughts that are running through my head all the time. And I just really think, has Rocky blurred the lines of fiction and reality? Like, Rocky just seems like he's the type of character that when I go to Philadelphia, I would expect him just to be there. He feels so real that we made him real in our minds. You know what I mean? Whether it be this how relatable the character is, the philosophy, the you know the the way this movie just come together so perfectly. And now we have like a Rocky Day, and now we have, there's the Rocky Run every year, and just this franchise is so incredibly loved, you know what I mean, by millions of people who've actually, you know, used this franchise as a way of to live their lives. And these are the kind of thoughts I have with it turning 50 years old. And where will it be hundreds and hundreds of years from now? Will people still be Rocky crazy? You know what I mean? So that's the point of this video today. We're gonna have a good conversation here, because is it a movie anymore? Is it something bigger? Is it something almost philosophical? You know what I mean? So let's just get into this little conversation we're gonna have too. So make sure you comment below. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know, like the video, subscribe, all that. And I just got some talking points here. All right, so guys, my first talking point here is what stands out to me. What stands out to me first is how relatable Rocky is. The moment we meet this man on screen after the fight, he goes home, he's talking to his pets. He feels so relatable. He's not very popular. He's popular with a few people. He has a friend who's just absolutely treats people awful with Polly, but Rocky's so what do you call it? He's just so loyal to his friend. But when you got Rocky, he's down on his luck. That makes him so relatable. He's loving his pets. If I could sing or dance, I wouldn't be doing this. He doesn't even want to be a fighter. It just pays the bills. Ham and eggers. So Rocky to me is so relatable. And we relate to him because how many of us have been down on our luck? All of us. We've all been down on our luck. We've all hit that point where I could be better. I didn't get my shot. I never got my chance. And the philosophy of Rocky is never giving up, always grinding it out. You know what I mean? And I think this movie, everything about this film, that original film, it just works. I mean, it was the right cast, the right director, the right music. Everything just came together, and it's like lightning in a bottle that you'd never be able to repeat ever. That's why I will say it is one of the few movies that I will say that never remake it. You'll never have a hope in hell of remaking this movie and making it like this. That's what I'm talking about. The fandom it has, how it's transcended into something completely else. But what makes Rocky really last isn't just the boxing. It's not really about the boxing. It's not a boxing movie. It's a love story, but it's the philosophy underneath it all, because Rocky isn't about being the best. It's about self-worth. It's about proving something. It's about self-respect and dignity, and proving something to yourself, not the world. And wow, you want to talk about relatability? You want to talk about looking up to something for your life? You want to change your life? You want to change something about yourself? You got to look to the philosophy in this movie. That idea of going the distance, it becomes a mindset. It becomes not just a fight, not just a match, but a way of living. And over time, that philosophy has moved beyond cinema. Rocky has moved beyond just a movie. It's everywhere now. It's philosophy. We can make ourselves better. We can get beat down by work. We can get beat down by friends. We can get beat down by life. That's what Apollo Creed symbolizes at the end of the fight, is us being beat by life, and we get back up. So it's entered real life. People just don't watch Rocky, they use it. And I know so many people that use this philosophy in their own lives, including myself. It's inspired millions to push themselves, to train harder, to get back up after failure. How many athletes, how many fighters have used Rocky and have done better? How many people have used this and done better? Beat cancer, beats other medical conditions. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? Because everyone has to have a fight. Everyone's been beaten down. I mean, it's everywhere. There are even things like Rocky Day. There's the annual Rocky Run, going on the same footsteps that Stallone ran in that movie, and it's a fantastic community. It's a community building. People joining together over Rocky is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Me being in a Rocky community myself, you know what I mean? That just doesn't happen with any movie, guys. I know Star Wars has May the 4th day. We have Rocky Day now. I don't know any other character. I mean, is there an Indiana Jones Day? You know what I mean? Is there? I mean, I like a lot of franchises. I've been part of a lot of talk on other fandoms and stuff, but Rocky just hits different. It's gone to another place, man. Just another place in the sphere. You know what I mean? And then the training montage, right? We all have our favorite training montages, which basically becomes the blueprint for every sports movie that comes after it. That rise from nothing, that rise from nothing structure, the grind, the progression, it all started here. You know, how many 80s movies or movies after we see a great training montage the guy does before the end fight and we get so excited, right? It started here, started in Rocky, man. Like I said, it all come together. This training montage, this music, this triumphant music that is it's been so impactful. And the most interesting thing is the fight is almost secondary, because the real win was just standing there when the bell rings. It was going the distance. It was no matter what happens, that's the core. No matter what happens, you keep pushing on. That's the core of the philosophy of Rocky and Rocky Balboa. When Stallone comes back for that movie, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Remember, guys, it's so beautiful. It's something you could live your life by. That's the core. That's the core of what this is all about. It's not about victory over others. It's about victory over yourself, the dignity, self-respect, over doubts, over your fears. The only people that get in the way is yourself. Only you get in your own way. And then the love story. The love story is the emotional backbone of everything we're talking about here. We all want, or maybe we had one, or we want, or we have our Adrian. You know, maybe a lot of us who are married, we found our Adrian. Maybe there's people looking for their Adrian, looking for that one person as the absolute backbone of your relationship that will support you through everything. The quiet support, that belief in someone when you don't believe in yourself. You know, remember the beach scene. You know what I mean? It's just that I think we all need a partner like that. Without that, Rocky doesn't work. It's what makes the film so bloody powerful. Remember that fight when he goes down and he gets back up and Adrian comes out and sees this and she does that, does that close her eyes and she opens her eyes again. It's magical. Like I said, this movie is transcended. Rocky isn't perfect. He's not the smartest, but he keeps going, and that's what makes him iconic. Because when you zoom it all out, man, Rocky becomes more than just a sports movie. Well, it was never really a sports movie, was it? Like I said, it's a love story. It's a drama, not a boxing movie. It's a love story. It becomes a story about discipline. It becomes a story about resilience. It becomes a story about your own identity. And this is the question. What are we leading up to here? What are we talking about here? What I want to know is, will Rocky still be talked about in 500 years? Will it be talked about like we learned Shakespeare in school? Will it be talked about other great classical storytellers today? Will that philosophy live on, and will our children's children be reading about this and learning about it in schools, if they're even in schools then? Will it be taken with them? And that's what I kind of mean by this is transcended into something else where people in their life they use this. It's more than a movie. It's more than a character. The character has blurred the lines between fiction and reality. You know what I mean? I know Rocky's not a real character. I know he's Stallone made this character up, and Rocky's very much a part of Stallone. You know what I mean? That's a part of himself. Like he says, it's my imaginary friend. You know what I mean? The person I will always strive to be. Because I'm telling you, the way we learn Shakespeare, classical storytellers, whatever have you, old authors where it's recommended or reading their book, there's an argument for it here. When I may be on crack here, I may be thinking Rocky's way more important than it really is. But hey, that's me. There's an argument. I mean, some films entertain us, some films inspire us, but very few actually shape of how people think about life. Very few movies do that, I imagine. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Am I at the lunch on all of this? You mean Rocky? I just wanted to do a little video before my channel got too crazy because I got a big series coming out about Rocky turning 50 years old. So I wanted to get into which I won't really be in that video other than narrating it. So I got a whole bunch of guests that kind of doing the work for me. So I want to get my thoughts out on Rocky turning 50 years old and how this franchise is just means so much to me and how it has pushed the lines of what is like it's like I said, out of the cinema into the sphere. So let me know, is Rocky just a great movie or something bigger than cinema itself? Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, all that. I'd really like to hear all your guys' thoughts on Rocky turning 50 and is Rocky more than a movie? My name is Jason. You've been watching Backtrack Cinema. I'll see you next time and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.